We build giant corporate and government entities powered by vast amounts of personal information and expect them to be transparent machines.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Shakaama. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you subscribe, also click on the notification bell. The way YouTube works is, if you ever want to see another one of my videos, you have to click the notification bell. They do not, they will not, they cannot show you my videos without the notification bell. Subscriber no longer means anything. It's all about the notification bell. Thank you for watching. I'm continuing in my Japan releases fully functioning female robot. Today I want to talk about the perfect wife. Now I was going to go over all of the things that they have, but I came across a few articles that were very interesting. So we'll continue the perfect wife in another episode in this series also. While the left is on Twitter going crazy over men telling jokes to each other on their own little friend circle, and the left is getting them banned off of Twitter and Facebook because there's always one snake in the grass. Somebody shares with somebody, and then somebody who's not supposed to see it sees it, and then they get all offended or what have you, right? Well, the media covering robots are absolutely losing their mind. And why are they losing their mind? What's the problem? The perfect robot wife is here, and they smell the end of women. Now, a few of you have said, Shakaama, when you say the perfect robot wife is here, show her to us. Well, little peasant man, this was pointed out by the super scared media covering the robots. She's hidden behind a $345,000 paywall. Both you, me, and the media have all said, when that price drops, it's over. No more child custody, no more divorce court, no more one-night stand trials, no more calling men responsible for bringing an unwanted child into the world when men are only working with what's between their legs, while women are holding all the cards, including, let's list them out, when she's going to lay down with a man. When you determine when, where, how you're going to lay down with a man, and he can't do anything about it, and we're not talking about criminals, we're talking about men. Even if he's married to you, the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, where I come from, they say it is nearly the only responsibility and duty that a wife has is to lay with her husband. And if you don't ever get married. It's as simple as that. All these people talking about, well, you don't have to lay with your husband, then you don't need to be married. You need to do something, or you need to go somewhere else, do whatever you want to do without a husband. And men, if you have a girlfriend that says, I'm not going to lay with you, get rid of her immediately. Drop her like a bad habit, because that right there is not going to change. It's only going to get worse. Then she's going to get the idea that she has rights and duties and all that sort of stuff that she can take out on you. If all of that is true, then all of the responsibility of bringing a child into this world is with the woman, not the man. All responsibility. And no matter how much you scream, it doesn't make the man responsible for it. The only thing a man is doing is laying down pipe. If the construction site isn't open, it doesn't even matter how much pipe he's requesting to lay down. The child is safely locked up forever in the womb. Understand, let's put it like that. Let's say I have pipe, I'm going to lay down pipe, and I come to the construction yard and I meet the security guard and it says the construction site is completely closed, can't come in, have a nice day. Nothing I can do, right? Let's carry that metaphor a little bit further. If I have pipe to lay down and I come to the construction yard and the security guard waves me on through and I lay down the pipe, and a week later water bursts out onto the construction site, is the construction site going to blame me? No. The construction site is responsible for everything that goes on in the construction site. And that is the perfect metaphor for that. Well, guess what? All of that is over. Well, the news is shaking in their boots. Because as soon as that price drops, 90% of the issues in the first and second world will vanish overnight. Now, let's talk about this. Every man can have a 10. Talk about 1 to 10 looks, every man can have a 10. Every man can have a non-judgmental partner. And I'm talking about, I don't care how perfect your wife is, how perfect your girlfriend is, she's judgmental at some point. Ooh, you smell anything, any little thing. And what happens is women don't understand that when they don't like something, they nag about it all the time. Oh my God, your feet smell. Oh my God, you burped at the table. In Italy, you can burp at the table. It means that the food was good. That's the culture over there. Oh, I don't like asparagus. Why are you eating asparagus? Because I like asparagus. You shouldn't eat asparagus around me. Well, this is not your stomach. See, you won't have a judgmental partner. Every man can come home to a back rub, foot massage, watch whatever he wants to on TV, or go to whatever movie he wants to go to. Every man can increase his testosterone tenfold. I did an entire thing of researching about testosterone and the testosterone levels of men today. I believe I made a video about it. It got about 200 views. It should have 5 billion views because there is a problem in testosterone. Now, my problem wasn't testosterone. My problem was this heart medication pills that they were misdiagnosing and whatever you call it, given to me, and stuff just stopped working, if you know what I mean, because there's no more nagging. Nagging lowers your testosterone. So having a woman actually lowers your testosterone. Having a nagging woman, that increases that whole drop in testosterone, that increases almost times 10. Let's say if there was a 500 count of normal, your stuff would be at about around 50. And also the stress would be completely reduced because you no longer have a monster at home. Every man can enjoy peace and quiet or the sweet whispers of whatever he wants to hear from his robot wife. And the media hates it. It demeans women. It promotes stereotypes. That's what the media says. And the short of it is, no, it doesn't. In fact, women have nothing to do with it at all. In fact, women aren't even in the inclusion. I'm so happy I'm able to record this. All of my equipment petered out earlier today. It really hurt my feelings. And in the short of it, no, it doesn't. In fact, women have nothing to do with it at all. In fact, women aren't even in the equation. And let's be honest, that's exactly why they're mad. Let's cut to the chase here. Let me get down to brass tacks. This is the section you should be listening to the most. Men pay nearly all of the taxes. Men get almost none of that money. Women are the biggest meal tickets for the government since the crown was invented. And for all of you men out there who are really clueless, without a man in their lives, women can't even start to ask for government handouts. Because most handouts start when she gets married. They already have a timeline on her. And here's what all of these, you see all of these movements about let's get women into technology. Let's get women into the sciences. Let's get women into math. Let's get women into computer programming. Every single industry of where they talk about let's get women into this, here's exactly what happens, and you've seen my videos talking about this. The very few women who are even remotely interested in it, because not everybody wants to be a mathematician. Not everybody wants to be a chess player. Not everyone wants to sit at a desk and program a video game. A whole lot of people want to play video games, but not many want to sit and program a video game. Have you seen it? Programming a video game looks nothing like playing a video game. Programming a video game is about as interesting as doing long paper accounting. And yes, I just made that word. Yes, I just made that word up. But I just want. Here's what happens. Let's say they got all the women that they possibly could to get into engineering. That's one of the things. So that group of women who are in the engineering, first of all, are a very minor portion of the total female population. It's less than 1%. Of that group, there were women in there who were just slightly interested. They drop out. Next level. There were women who were interested, but they have zero talent for it. They drop out. The next level up from that are women who are interested and have talent, don't graduate. Next up from that, women who are interested, talented, don't get married and go off and live happily ever after. They get their degree. The clock starts ticking. This is all true. You can go look it up. This includes lawyers, doctors, anything you can think of professional as a profession, an actual profession that requires a lot of study, a lot of hours, a lot of hard work. The clock starts ticking the first day that they get on the job. Anywhere from 5 years, and let's start it from zero. Anyway, from day zero, women will quit the day that they are hired. Anywhere from day 0 to day 5, most of those women quit, never to return to work. Did you hear me? Oh, we're not talking about they shifted to a different company. Never to return to work. So all of that money that was put into them to find them, because it costs money to do marketing to find the woman who's interested in engineering, all of that money's gone. All the money to actually teach them, because they are now subsidized in college. Most women in those and on that sort of deal don't pay for their own way. So they're already being paid for there. And then the company shells out a lot of cash to train them, on the job training and all that sort of stuff, internships, all that stuff. You do all of that. Remember, you still do all of that. That somebody else is paying for, and they can quit from day 1 to day 5. Now, I think it's about 5 years. The next drop off are the women who want to have a kid, and that's anywhere after 5 years, or anywhere before the 5 years or after 5 years. They drop off, have a kid, and never return. It's very few women who have a kid, seriously, and this is all women, who have a kid and actually return to work after having a kid. All of these women that you hear talking about, I want maternity leave and I want you paid maternity leave, those are very few. Those are very few of the entire female working population. So out of all the women who work, first of all, most of them do not have children, right? And the ones who do have children, most of those don't want to return to work at all. So maternity leave or not, they don't want to return. They don't want to have anything to do with a job ever again. And that's from rich CEO women all the way down to burger flipping women. All of that is over. All of that is as soon as the price drops on the robot wife, all of that is over. Why? Because there's not going to be an incentive to actually pay for women to get into engineering. It's going to be a necessity that women get into engineering. I'm going to get into that in a few seconds here. Imagine a world where no man touches a human woman. He can't be convinced he should pay taxes for a random woman he'll never, ever touch and does not want to touch. And that right there scares the daylights out of the media and the government. We're already going into a women paying child support, women paying alimony, and they are rushing to get rid of it. Child support is in the trillions of dollars a year that makes money for government. But to keep women happy, they're talking about getting rid of it. There's going to come a day when the only arguments to be made will be between women on women relationships, as far as family courts are concerned. But the regular woman will have to pay for their own drinks, cars, houses, clothes, and that means a lot less women will do it. Because although women work a lot, they always choose the cheap jobs. Cheap jobs don't pay for Birkin handbags. Leave a comment below if you know what a Birkin handbag is and explain it to the rest of everybody. And most rich women are not rich themselves, their husband or their father is rich. This will plummet the economy into the biggest depression we've ever seen. And that's worldwide again. But here's a caveat for men. Men won't care. Men are already starting to pack it up and go galt. Please explain to the people in the comment section what going galt means. And they're going galt with just $30,000 to their name. So the economy crashes, so what? It'll probably cause tons of more men to just pick up and go galt. The media is freaking out and saying, and I quote, "Why robot wives are more dangerous than you think." You see, the media knows that men will do everything in the society, including raise the children right. Have you seen the data about single mothers versus single fathers? There's no comparison. Nearly all criminals now are from single mothers, and none come from single fathers. Let that sink in. And the ones that are left are mothers that have married other men, creating a stepfather situation, which is no good at all, because men and women aren't made like they used to be. Those days of I raised him as if he was my own son, those days are gone. Now it's a live-in boyfriend. That's what a stepfather is now. Not all stepfathers these days. You fathers out there, I would go get my kids. If you're a father, divorced, and homegirl has remarried with some other dude, I would go get my kids and say, you know what? I don't care what the court says. I need to raise these children because you are putting them in a situation, and the data bears it out. The data is on your stand. Your son, but Stanley's a very nice man. He's great with the children. Homegirl, sorry to tell you this, but there is a rampant epidemic of stepfathers doing stuff to their non-original kids. Point blank. The whole sense that I now have the responsibility for these children, that is out the window. That's gone. Those days are over. The world has changed. The United States has changed. You think these men who get into these stepfather situations, first of all, want a step? There's so many men online telling you, do not date a single mom. Do not add yourself into an already formed family. Let me tell you about my neighbor. She's all of 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, something like that. And she's already acting out with the other little boys in the neighborhood. And the other little boys in the neighborhood are little boys. They're not interested in that. They're interested in playing and playing with the brother. And she said some stuff that I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem. And now I'm not saying nothing to the father of the little boys, because I don't want to start no mess, but I can already say I'm just sitting back watching. Not my concern. So you can have a situation like that where you are infusing yourself into a home where the mother treats her children like they're friends. Like that's her girlfriend, that's her guy friend, the little boy is the guy friend, and she tells them adult stuff which she should not be sharing with them, of what and when she goes out and dates, and the little girl thinks that she's a 30-year-old woman. All of that is going to be over when that price drops. And this is exactly what the article talked about. When that price drops, it's going to break loose. It's going to hit the fan. You all know, those people who talk about hitting the fan. It's going to hit the fan. I think you're going to see the real nature of men when they have an option of going galt and going without these nagging women, these modern women. It's the modern women. It's not the 50-year-olds. It's not the 60-year-old, 7-year-old women. Those are not the problem. And what's terrible is I try and explain this to these 70-year-old women. I go, you have no idea. You have no possible idea. No, she's a woman. No. No, you have no idea. And half the time she doesn't even think she's a woman. The media knows the truth. They report lies, they report fake news, but they know the truth. I would advise every man to save your money, save up for what is about to happen, because it's coming. And if it drops to 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, I would say that is a bargain. I want you to go ahead and count your money, count all of your assets. Do you own a house? Are you paying a mortgage? You have a car? I want you to divide everything you have into 1/4, and you're going to keep the quarter, and 3/4 you're going to give to your wife, because the government is going to nickel and dime you. And if that number comes out to $50,000 and the robot costs 30,000, count yourself lucky. There are already men who are married and they have these robots with them. They're married with the woman in the house and they have the robot. What does that tell you? Answer below. Thank you for watching. Leave a like.